Good morning, children. Quick revision on chapter Mineral and Energy Resources. Very first, what are minerals? As you can see, the minerals is an aggregate of two or more than two elements, then that is called a mineral. So, mineral having a definite chemical composition and is formed by inorganic process, that is called mineral. Minerals are generally the two types, which are the metallic minerals and the non-metallic minerals. Which are metallic minerals? Which contain metals, and generally metallic minerals are found in igneous rocks. Same way, non-metallic minerals, what are these? These minerals do not contain metals and are mostly found in sedimentary rock. Some of the examples of the non-metallic minerals are mica, limestone, gypsum, etc. So, minerals are non-renewable energy resources. What is the meaning of non-renewable? Which cannot be renewed time and again. That is called non-renewable. Non-renewable, which cannot be renewed again and again. There are four varieties of iron ore found in India, that is magnetite, hematite, limonite and siderite, all across the globe. But which one out of this is the best quality of iron ore? That is the magnetite. And why it is considered the best variety of the iron ore? As you can see, 72% of the iron ore consists in it. Second best variety, that is of hematite, and it contains 60 to 70% of the carbon content. Then limonite, and the poorest quality, that is the siderite. So these are the iron ore. Four varieties are there: magnetite, hematite, limonite and siderite. Out of these four, the inferior variety, that is the siderite one, and the superior variety, the magnetite. Now further, if we will focus to the map of India, where in India these iron ore particularly found. So iron ore mainly found in, as you can see the map of India, that is main is the Jharkhand is the state, then Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, these parts, Karnataka, Maharashtra state. Then further you can see this is Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. So here the main concentrations. Now let us talk about where in Odisha. So Odisha, you can see that Keonjhar, Sundargarh and Mayurbhanj. Jharkhand, the best one is the area which are Singhbhum and Palamau. And we will talk about Chhattisgarh, then this is Durg and Bastar. These are the main deposits of iron ore. India has the world's largest reserves of the iron ore in the world. Beside that, Brazil and Australia is also there, but India is also one of the largest iron ore producing deposits in the world. Karnataka has the large reserves of magnetite and hematite iron ore. So remember the state of Karnataka, which is highly useful for the production of the hematite and magnetite. Then Odisha is also the largest producer of the iron ore. It lists four states, you remember. The one is the Odisha, Jharkhand, Goa and Madhya Pradesh. If we will talk about the manganese, then manganese, India ranked third in the world in manganese production, and about 30% of the total used during refinement of the iron ore, and the remaining 70% is used as an alloy in the final steel product. Actually, the manganese is used for making a strong steel, steel strong and removes impurities and make it immune to rusting. So these are the main highlights about the manganese. What are the main uses? And it is also one of the use that preparation of organic and inorganic chemicals. Now next is the where in India the manganese mines are there. So the different regions are there where these manganese mines. uh, Here you can see reserves of the manganese. These are the reserves of the manganese here. In Madhya Pradesh you can see Odisha, Karnataka, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. And important states like Gujarat, where Panchmahal and Vadodara district are the main producers. Bauxite is the another important minerals, and bauxite is the main raw material for making the aluminium. So aluminium that obtained from the bauxite. So bauxite is the raw material for making aluminium, and it is a rock consisting of hydrated aluminium oxides. Now next is the second map you can refer, that is the map of bauxite, and particularly which found in the state of the Odisha, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Next is the copper. Copper is highly ductile. Ductile, that means able to draw out into thin wires, which is easily mold into different shape and size. It is a strong and good conductor of electricity. That's why copper is manifold uses. We will talk about the main uses of the copper. Then copper is universal in India. Even in the early days of civilization, copper was used for making arms, ammunition, and utensils. Copper is highly ductile, high thermal and electrical conductivity. Due to that, it is mostly used for making alloys, and mixed with the alloys, particularly brass, that is a mixture of copper and zinc, and with tin as a bronze. So copper is used as a railway equipment industry and other engineering works. Distribution of copper, we will see that Madhya Pradesh has become the largest producer of copper in India, surpassing the Rajasthan and Jharkhand. So here the underlining fact is the Madhya Pradesh, the largest producer of copper in India. Then Jharkhand is the third largest and Rajasthan is the second largest. As you can see here, the three quality of the iron ore: magnetite, hematite, and hematite, which are found in Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Karnataka. These are the main state. Beside that, some centers are also. One or two center you can remember. For example, Karnataka, the Kemangunti mines, and Odisha, the Katak and Kionjar mines are highly important. Mineral and energy resources. The conventional source of energy. What are the conventional source of energy? Like coal, petroleum, natural gas, hydel power, nuclear energy. These are conventional source which once used ended forever. These are called non-renewable or conventional source of energy, since it is not renewed time and again. Once used ended forever. So these are conventional source of energy, and non-conventional means the renewable source of energy which can renew time and again. For example, you can see here solar energy, wind energy, then biogas, tidal energy and geothermal energy. These are the examples of non-conventional source of energy. But in the syllabus we have solar energy, wind energy, then biogas energy, and tidal and geothermal energy is not there in the syllabus this time. Further, we will see what is the significance of this energy resources. So energy is an essential input for the industrial and economic development of the country, and that's why it is widely spread all across India. This convectional energy resources, here you can see in the chart how much is this is reflecting convectional energy resources in India. So remember, convectional sources are exhaustible. They cause pollution when used, as they emit smoke and ash, and they are very expensive to be maintained and stored and transmitted. So these are some of the disadvantage of the use of convectional source of energy. Since the convectional source of energy cannot be produced time and again, that's why we can use all these resources very wisely. Now, next is the coal. Coal is a convectional source of energy, and it is inflammable organic substance composed of hydrocarbons found in the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks, that is the deposits of silt and sediment by the rivers, and that is called sedimentary. Sedimentation of the silt and sediment layer after layer, and this way the sedimentary rocks are found. And these sedimentary rocks, since it is formed due to the deposition laid down by the rivers, so in the past many aquatic animals, after their death decay, their skeleton bones, they all converted into organic substances. And for example, you can see the natural vegetation like the forest in India or forest resources, due to very long duration of this duration of process, because it takes million of years for the process to form as a coal. So these vegetation or these plants and trees, particularly in a particular area, get inside the earth for million of years and remains there and convert it into fossil fuel. So coal is often like that. So coal is one of the conventional source of energy, and there are the four main varieties of coal. One is the anthracite, second is the bituminous, lignite, and peat. Out of that, the best variety, that is called the anthracite coal, and that is found in Union Territory, Jammu and Kashmir in India, and that is also very least in quantity. Second best variety, that is bituminous coal, particularly the bituminous coal that is contains 60 to 80% of the carbon content. And lignite coal, that is also referred as the brown coal, and it is one of the inferior variety of the coal. Coal mine in India, and Jharkhand is the largest state having the reserves of coal in India. Beside that, West Bengal, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu are other states. But the main area, the largest producer of the coal, that comes from the Jharkhand state. So Jharkhand is the largest state from where the coal mined in India. Petroleum or mineral oil. Actually, the petroleum, that consists of the two Latin words, that is petrol meaning rock and oleum meaning oil. Thus, petroleum is the oil obtained from the rocks. Here in the picture you can see one of the oil refinery in India. Do you know which is the one of the largest oil refinery in the world? That is the Jamnagar oil refinery, and that is under the private sector, that is Reliance Industry of India, controlled and managed the Jamnagar oil refinery, which is one of the largest oil refinery in the world. Further, Mumbai High is one of the offshore oil field. Basin and Aliabet also there. These are the offshore oil field. Offshore oil field are those oil field where the oil is extracted away from the shore inside the sea and ocean. So Mumbai High is one of the largest offshore oil field in India. Beside that Mumbai High, the basin, as you can see, and Aliabet are these other offshore oil field. Then some of the center name you can remember. In Gujarat, Ankleshwar, Koili and Kalol and Navgaon are the important oil fields area. Now see further below the chart, here oil company are there and which state they are located and their locations are given. So in India there are numerous oil refinery under public sector, under private sector. So most of them are located near to the coastal area and in the northeastern state like Assam. This is the view of the Reliance Jamnagar oil refinery in India. Jamnagar refinery is the world's largest private sector crude oil refinery, and the refinery complex is located at Jamnagar in Gujarat in India. As you can see in the view, it is owned and operated by the Reliance Industries. Hydel power, that means hydroelectricity. You can see the view of the hydroelectricity. The future prosperity of India's independence to the great extent in our ability to produce and use electricity. The other two sources of energy, coal and petroleum, are exhaustible and will not be available to us forever. That's why impetus is given to the hydropower. Hydropower means the power which is generated with the help of force of falling water. And turbines, that is huge turbines, which are connected by the generator, so they produce mechanical energy and convert it into electrical energy. So these hydropower are basically very significant for industrial growth. Nuclear power. As you can see, this nuclear power is one of the important need because nuclear energy can be used to produce electricity, and the main raw material used for generation of the atomic energy is uranium, plutonium, beryllium and thorium. And these uranium is available particularly in the copper belt of Bihar and the rocks of the Aravalli range in Rajasthan, that is more significant there. And monazite sands of Kerala, they also contain some sort of thorium, and thorium has been converted into uranium to be used as a nuclear fuel. And if we will see the history of the first nuclear power station that was developed in India, that is the Tarapur power station, nuclear power station in India, that is established in 1969. So the first nuclear power station was developed in Tarapur in 1969. Later on, some other power stations also developed, like Kalpakam in Tamil Nadu, Rana Pratap Sagar in Kota, Narora in Uttar Pradesh, and Kakrapara near Surat in Gujarat. These are other important nuclear power stations. So these are nuclear power stations, that is Koddakomal in Tamil Nadu, that is the latest one nuclear power station in India. Next very important non-conventional source of energy, if we will talk about non-conventional energy resources, then significant one is the solar energy. The solar energy is controlled by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Resources, has initiated the various programs in the urban sector for promoting the solar water heating system in homes, hotels, hospitals and industry. So sun is the primary source of energy. As you can see, these are solar panel and electricity is generated from solar panels. So how these solar panels work actually, as you can see in the picture, the solar electricity generation using the photovoltaic cell, that is photovoltaic or PV technology, which converts sunlight directly into the electricity. So these are the solar panel, photovoltaic cells are there, and these convert sunlight directly into the electricity. So using a specially designed and fabricated cells arranged in suitable arrays, and that's why it is highly useful. Wind energy generation. Here you can see the wind farm in one of the view of the wind farm in Tamil Nadu. As you know, now there is greater need of generation of electricity through the windmills. And how it happens, actually, if a generator is coupled to the shaft of the windmills, these are the windmills, the rotation of these windmills particularly will lead to the production of electricity from generator. So when these blades rotate with the high speed, similarly its attachment is with the windmills generator and then generate the electricity. And this electricity in appropriate form can be utilized for domestic and various other purpose. And there are so many advantage of using the wind power, maybe solar power, or these non-conventional source of energy, since all these are environmental friendly and do not produce any waste or cause any pollution. So that is the credit goes to this technology, non-conventional source of energy. So all these windmills, and particularly windmills in India, that is more prevalent in the state of the Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Odisha. And the adjoining diagram, as you can see, this is the biogas plant. This is also a non-conventional source of energy. This is also environmental friendly and do not harm, do not produce any waste, or do not cause any pollution. And that's why biogas is also one of the important. But what is biogas? That is also called the gobar gas, is based on the use of dung to produce gas, which is used as a domestic fuel and lighting streets and homes, especially in rural areas. And more its uses, as you can see, these are used for using of biogas, different use for heating water, used as cooking purpose. So this technology also very important. Develop decomposition of the organic matter in the absence of air, due to that of air, to yield a gas consisting of methane, that consists of a high percentage 55% and carbon dioxide 45%, so which can be used as a source of energy. So this about the biogas, and some advantage of using the biogas. It is a sustainable source of energy, so it reduces the pollution also. Then cost beneficial it is, because biofuels are clear fuels, which means they produce fewer emission on burning, hence do not cause any pollution. So they are easily available and are cost effective, and more it is used as a fertilizer also.